Tools required for the Invacare chairs of any kind: a 5/8" socket on a ratchet, 5/8" boxed-in wrench or a ratchet wrench as we have right here on the table, a Phillips head screwdriver, a 5/16" nut driver, needle nose pliers, 2 Allen wrenches that will be supplied. Also in the kit will be a 5/32" drill bit. Included in the kit for the Invacare chairs are 2 lock assemblies, one for the right side, one for the left side, 2 hubs, 2 hubcaps, 2 stainless steel screws, 2 Allen wrenches, nylon washers, and 2 axle bolts. We'll start our process by removing the wheel. Just pull the hubcap off and discard it. When the wheel is removed, we're going to get rid of the spacer. This will not be used on the Invacare kit. We're going to discard it. We're going to hold on to the bolt and the keeper and the nut. Once the wheel is removed, we'll select the proper size. It's the right side, so we're going to get the right side assembly to go on here. We'll determine which Hemi height or adult height at this point right here. These kits will go either way. You can do adult or Hemi. We're going to set this one at adult height. And we're just going to start by setting it on there, taking our original axle bolt that come off, and we're going to push it through from the other side. It will be reversed. Push it all the way in. There's a keeper back here to hold the bolt in place that you'll go all the way into the keeper. Once that is all the way in, we'll take the 5/16" box wrench, and from that point, we're going to tighten this up onto the axle right here. We'll tighten both these bolts all the way until there's absolutely no cracks or anything left right here. This is imperative that you get these on here good and tight. From that point, we'll take the Allen wrench that was supplied in the kit, and we're going to tighten this Allen screw up right back here. What this does, this thing will pivot on here, and this is made to hold it still, is all this does right here. You'll need to tighten this nut firmly against the frame. You don't want to over tighten this, just get it good and snug. And from that point, this assembly is on and through. This is the override part, is what we're going to go next, and this is very important that the cable comes under the cam wheel right here. Under the cam wheel right here, pull it up, and we're going to install it onto the handle. All we'll do here, I'm going to turn this towards you where you can see, is loosen this screw up here a little bit, pull it out, and this thing spreads. You can see this will spread, and it can't be broken. This is made to bend and not break. This is a nylon material. We'll stretch it out, put it onto the handle, and then tighten that screw up. That'll take a Phillips head screwdriver. This also will need to be tightened firmly so it won't twist on there. All right, next we'll take the paddle assembly and install it. We want to do the same thing here. This cable will come under the cam assembly right there. We'll pull the top screw out. Put it right back on. During the initial installation of this, we're just going to put this thing on here. We normally want to get this cable where it's fairly tight right here. Get the paddle assembly level and tighten it up right here. We will have to do an adjustment down the road on this. These 2 screws will need to be tightened firmly also. One of the adjustments is on the override assembly here. This thing needs to be adjusted to where there's 1 3/4 inch from the bottom of your handle to here approximately. This thing does not have to be exact to work correctly. We're going to tighten these set screws right here. What this will do is after your adjustment's done, you won't have to worry about this thing moving on you after that. You know, when this thing's adjusted and you pull the lever, the pin should come all the way in when you pull the lever up, and when you let off the lever, the pin should come all the way back out. If you get this too tight right here, this will actually be drawn up and actually hold the pin. All right, the next adjustment will be right here. If you'll notice on the paddle assembly, is what this particular piece is called, this thing, we've got it tight on here, but it'll still twist. And we can actually twist it and pull it backwards or forward, and that's our adjustment, is literally backwards or forward or in and out. And what we want to end up with here is we want to get this thing to where the cable is fairly tight, but not over tight, and we want to twist it till the pin goes in. You'll see the pin go in, and then we want to let the pin twist. I'm twisting this back so that the pin comes out. And once the pin bottoms out right there, that's pretty much where we need to be. Notice how the paddle assemblies are both tilted slightly in. There's the perfect spot for them. Anywhere from level to turn slightly in, they'll work fine. This has to be right in order for the kit to work properly and not to have adjustments or anything down the road. From that point, we'll take an Allen wrench supplied in the kit, and we're going to tighten the set screw up here. Now what this set screw does, this is going to hold this kit in place while we get everything put together, test the chair, and then we'll have a way to attach this permanently to the frame later on in this. From that point, we're ready to reinstall our wheel. You'll have a hub. It will line up on a spokes wheel. Just get it lined up. You can pop it on with your hand. It goes on fairly easy. You'll have 2 nylon washers that'll have to go on to your axle bolt. Just slide those up on there from that point and put your wheel back on. One thing to watch out for is sometimes in the process, this will get the brake that comes on the chair, the manual brake will get in the way, and you see this wheel will not go back on with that in the way, and you'll cause trouble. So just make sure that your manual brake is all the way off before you try to reinstall your wheel. And that wheel will just slide up on there. At that point, we're going to replace our keeper and our nut, nylon insert nut there. That was original that come on the outside of the chair, both of those. We're going to take our 5/8 inch socket and tighten this down. What we're going to do is we want to tighten this thing down nice and firm, all right? And from this point right here, you know, the wheels will not move there. I'm going to depress the overrides to let the wheel move and check that tire. And it's going to be fairly tight when you tighten it down like that. What we want to do from that point is just to back off. I'm going to back off on it just a little bit, try it again. Back off on it until the wheel moves nice and free. And that ought to be good about right there. The original hubcap that come on was discarded. We've got a hubcap, the hubcap that comes with it. Just put it back on there to protect your bearing and stuff there. You can check it right here. And basically what I'm doing here is just turning the wheel and checking each hole. There's actually 16 holes in this hub, and I'm going to make sure the pin goes in each one of them. All right, we basically are through with the installation process other than one step. We're going to remove this set screw and actually run a drill all the way through the frame and then replace it with a screw to hold this thing where there won't be any future adjustments. Before we do that, we have to make sure the chair is working properly, and we normally sit down on the floor to do that. I'm going to take the chair and just set in it like a patient would. Set it down, and you see the chair is locked right here. We're going to sit down in it and make sure it rolls. And then I'll actually stand up and feel the chair lock. And you can do, like I say, there's 16 holes there. If you want to check all 16 of them, that's good. But normally if it goes in one hole, it'll go in all of them. All right, so we know that chair is working right there. I'm going to put it up and finish up our last step. Now that we have tested the locking system, make sure it's working properly, we're going to actually remove the set screw right here and attach this thing to the frame. This works like a pilot hole for you right here. We're going to just take our drill, run it up in there. We want to get it kind of straight and level if possible, and we're going to drill through the frame right here. There's one side, and there's the other. Now that you've got your hole drilled, we're going to install a red-headed stainless steel screw here. And we'll just put it on our nut driver, and we're going to run it into the hole. If it gets hard on the way in, just back off on it a little bit, and it'll get easier. Nice and tight, that's good. All right, once you've installed the screw here, we're going to repeat that procedure on the other side. We're going to take that set screw out and drill it to the frame there also. After the installation is complete, if you were to encounter any trouble, please refer to the troubleshooting section of this video.